Congratulations on your purchase of a Shelter wood and coal burning furnace, manufactured with pride in the USA. By taking the time to familiarize yourself with your new furnace, you will be able to look forward to many years of trouble-free and dependable service. Now I'm going to show you how simple it is to install the Shelter furnace and to start enjoying all the benefits that are designed to provide efficient, low-cost heating by burning renewable wood or coal to heat your home. We'll start with the indoor furnace. We have 4 indoor furnaces here: the 2400, the 2626 model, the popular 2631 model, and the 2639 model. Now let's look at the ease of assembly. Most of the parts on all Shelter furnaces are pre-assembled, and the electrical control assembly has been pre-wired. So assembly is as easy as can be. Now you want to choose the right location for your Shelter furnace. So here's what you should look for. Place the furnace as close to the chimney as possible. If installing a chimney on a horizontal run, remember the black pipe must have a 2-inch rise for every foot and cannot run more than 5 feet, or it could restrict the draw. If installing the chimney vertically, there must be a cleanout tee attached to the flue collar on the back of the furnace. Maintain the required clearances to combustibles, which are outlined in your owner's manual. All these easy steps are outlined in your manual. So we want to start with the circulation blower. The first step you should do is to install the right and left brackets to the blower housing. Then attach the blower to the back of the furnace. Then next up is assembling the filter box. The filter box comes with 4 panels clearly marked A, B, C, D, with pre-drilled holes for ease of assembly. Next, you want to position the assembled filter box on the rear of the furnace, approximately 4 inches from the floor, and flush with the bottom of the furnace and covering the rear of the distribution blower. Next comes the electrical control center. It's already pre-assembled, so it just needs to be mounted. The first thing we do is mount the fan limit control with 3 sheet metal screws and replace the cover. The fan limit is already set to factory specs. Mount the electrical control center with 4 sheet metal screws, then secure the flex conduit to the side of the furnace using the bracket and 1 sheet metal screw. Then plug the blower motor onto the back of the electrical control center. Next is the draft blower. Mount the draft blower on the front of the furnace with 3/4-inch bolts. Now for the thermostat wiring. You'll need a 2-wire thermostat wire, which is not included, and it needs to be connected to the transformer that has 2 posts on the side of the control center. You can refer to your owner's manual to see the wiring diagram. Next is the wall thermostat. A good spot for that is next to the existing house thermostat. And you don't want to forget a filter. These furnaces use a 20 by 25 by 1-inch filter, easy to find at most hardware stores and home centers. You need to connect your furnace to a stainless steel lined masonry chimney or a Class A insulated chimney 6 inches for the smaller units and 8 inches for model 2639. Basically, you just want to have the same size chimney as the flue size for the back of the furnace. The stovepipe required to connect the furnace to the chimney should be a minimum of 24-gauge black or stainless steel, always with the crimped end down. Now for the installation of the air duct. Hook up the hot air supply by using galvanized pipe, attaching it to the main trunk line. Always try to attach to the main trunk at a 45-degree angle going down the trunk line. This will provide even airflow. On the return air, it is possible to draw the air from the basement. This is okay if the basement is open to the upstairs. You can also install register vents in the return air duct in the ceiling of the basement. The vents can be opened in the winter months, but always make sure to close them in the summer. If the basement is not open to the downstairs, you will have to hook up the return air to the main trunk line. Whichever connection you choose, you must have a minimum of 125 square inches. And with the connection of the chimney pipe, ductwork, and wall thermostat, your furnace installation is complete. Now all you need to do is just plug your furnace into a standard grounded electrical outlet. Like we said, installation is easy. Be sure to check out the diagrams in your installation manual for more details. Now it's time to move outside and take a look at installing an outdoor furnace. Just like the indoor furnaces, the outdoor furnaces are simple to install because they are pre-assembled. Let me show you how simple it is. These outdoor furnaces can be placed pretty close to the house. In fact, the closer to the home, the better the airflow. You can install it as close as 31 inches from the home, which is the minimum distance, but not more than 25 feet from the home. A 4-foot by 8-foot concrete pad is ideal. You'll need a connection to a grounded electrical circuit and access to a backup generator in case of a power failure. By the way, a special feature of your outdoor furnace that you won't find from any other manufacturer is the patented heat dump that protects your furnace during power outages. Now we're ready to start installation. There's no need to hardwire Shelter outdoor furnaces. The electrical control center is pre-wired. Just a few parts to assemble and plug in. Start by bolting the blower onto the blower housing. Then caulk the blower housing with high-temperature silicone caulk and attach it to the back of the furnace. Then you'll need to align the fan limit control box with the gasket, which gives it a watertight seal. Now, pass the wire conduit through the hole on the blower housing. Reinstall the locking nut for weather-tight fitting. Finally, you'll want to mount the blower service cover and then mount the draft motor to the front of the unit and attach the conduit clip to the right inner panel. Now all that's left is to plug in, and all the outlets are clearly labeled. Plug in the fan limit control. Plug in the blower motor. Then just mount the cover on the fan limit control box with 2 screws, and again using high-temperature silicone caulk, caulk the housing cover on the seams. Your thermostat must be installed inside the home. You need a 2-wire thermostat wire, which is not included, and it needs to be connected to the transformer, which has 2 posts on the top of the control center. Now we need to hook up the chimney pipe, and that starts with the anchor plate. Make sure you're using an anchor plate that is made for the chimney pipe you're using. This is very important. Anchor plates are not interchangeable with other brands. Using a high-temperature caulk, caulk the bottom of the anchor plate around the center pipe shaft. Then install it to the top of your furnace using galvanized screws with rubber gaskets. Next is the chimney pipe. If your furnace is 10 feet or more from the home, a minimum of 6 feet of insulated chimney is recommended. If the furnace is closer than 10 feet to the home, the 10-2 rule must be followed. The top of the chimney must be 2 feet higher than any structure that is within a 10-foot radius. And there must always be a chimney cap on the chimney to prevent rain from going down into the furnace. Prior to hooking up the ductwork and after the chimney and electrical are attached, the furnace must be pre-burned so that oils used in the manufacturing process can be burned off to cure the furnace. This will normally take 1 to 2 hours. Once this is done, you are ready to hook up the ductwork. Next, we need to connect the starter collars. You'll need to connect the 10-inch starter collar to the heat supply vent, and then connect the 12-inch starter collar to the cold air return on the back of the blower housing. Now, our last step is the ductwork. The cold air return and the hot air supply outlets from the furnace are round, so they can be used with standard galvanized duct found at most hardware stores. You want to avoid 90-degree elbows. For proper airflow, no duct angles should be greater than 45 degrees. Also, the 10-inch insulated duct is for indoor use only, never outdoors. If you're running the wiring out of the bottom of the blower housing, seal up the hole in the bottom so that the air is not pulled through the blower housing. If you're not using the hole to run the electrical, seal it up completely. When attaching ductwork from the outside, make sure all sections are screwed together and use aluminum tape to make each section of galvanized pipe an airtight connection. Also tape all the joints on the elbows. Then wrap the ducts with Reflectix, a UV-rated insulated wrap found at most builders and hardware stores. If using the 10-inch flex insulated duct inside the home, it must be pulled tight to provide better airflow. Because you can place the outdoor furnace as close as 31 inches from the house, You can install the air ducts through a basement window or a crawl space, or a frame sidewall to make the connection to the main trunk line in the home. From purchase to installation, Shelter Furnace makes it simple with factory-assembled parts and live customer support. You can refer to your owner's manual or visit www.shelterfurnace.com or call 1-800-875-4788. Thanks for joining us, and congratulations again on your Shelter Furnace. This is a high-quality furnace made right here in the USA.